Chapter 9, Hawkins Mansion. After the death of Colden, Pierce, victim of hallucinations, advanced inside the Riverside Institute to the point of discovering Sarah Hawkins, alive, prisoner of Dr. Fuller. The last confrontation between Charles Hawkins and his wife has revealed that the man, under his monstrous appearance, tried to protect her from the influence of the myth. He warned Pierce, if Sarah succumbs to the lure of the occult, she will lose all free will, allowing the cult to bring its plan to fruition, summon an ancient and evil god. Henceforth, Pierce must know more about Sarah Hawkins' intentions, and find a way to protect her.
No parent should have to bury their child, knowing it's me that put him there. The guilt will never go away.
I feel your pain.
I'll do anything to get him back. Anything. My work was what lured me here in the first place. It began showing me things I never should have painted. Things Charles should never have seen.
What am I to you? I took care of you, saved you from your miserable life. You'll never find a man better than me. You owe me.
I owe you nothing. We'll leave now.
You're not going anywhere. You are mine!
Simon.
Come on. It's over now.
October 29, 1924, Riverside Institute. I came to Drake's bookstore. In my mind, I still see what Marie Colden lived through, treatment given to patients, her search for medical records, the enigma of the boat, going down into the cellars, and Fuller. Did the book cause this hallucination? Is Colden in danger? Drake will help me in my investigation. He'll meet me in the Hawkins mansion after gathering up his thing. In the meantime, I've got to save Colden. Getting into the Institute wasn't a problem. Finding Colden and getting out with her might prove to be more difficult. This place, it shouldn't exist. The doors lead elsewhere. The symbols must disappear, a presence, the shambler. I must get out. Sarah Hawkins is alive. After Colden, everything is mixed up, the corridors grow longer, there was this voice, and all this blood coming out of abandoned cells. I followed it. She is here. She isn't dead? We got out, but Charles Hawkins caught us, completely changed. Nothing human left, he's dead. We killed him. Hawkins Manor. What does she really know? What have they done to her? Her husband said that she was dangerous. Sarah Hawkins, she looks crazy. Like me? Metal trauma, reading the Necronomicon. Pierce has read the Necronomicon. Drawn by the whispering of the accursed book, he forced the bookseller's safe, touched the skin binding and deciphered the last words of the crazed Abdul al-Hazard. As if as an answer to the questions that Pierce was asking himself, the book sucked in his mind and projected it into the body of Colden. Silent witness to his own investigation, he followed her steps down into the cellars of the Riverside Institute and her confrontation with Fuller. Returned to his own body, Pierce slowly comes to understand that his investigation is taking him into unknown territory. The words of the Necronomicon still echo in his mind. Will he ever forget that horrifying read? Trapped in madness. Institute in order to help the doctor. Immediately attacked by the shambler, he fled through a transmuted hospital whose architecture respected no physical laws. His wandering led him to an operating room, where his confrontation with Fuller came to an end when Colden's corpse rose up to attack Pierce. The detective thinks that he's got a grip on himself, but he now knows that death and madness lie in his path. His sanity was severely affected by this new ordeal. Charles Hawkins. Pierce and Sarah Hawkins confronted the monster that Charles Hawkins had turned into. The man retained nothing human, tentacles replaced one of his arms, his face bore the signs of an unfinished mutation, and he was endowed with superhuman strength. He was on the point of strangling Pierce when Sarah Hawkins drove a poker into his throat. Pierce finished him off with an axe. This fight to the death left Pierce physically and mentally scarred. Algernon Drake. Age 43, occupation, bookseller. Algernon Drake is the owner of the Nameless bookstore and a friend of Sarah Hawkins. It would seem that the two of them were united in a common thirst for knowledge about the occult. He has a strange collection of parchments and books of spells, and he seems to know a lot about the island's clandestine activities. If I decide to explore the occult trail, he will be an excellent guide. Marie Colden, age 32, occupation, doctor. I arrived too late to free Colden from the clutches of Fuller. Just before I found her body in the hands of the doctor, she had come to see me to give me a last message. I don't know if I'm going crazy, but I believe that her words were full of truth. Sarah Hawkins, age 33, occupation, painter. I found Sarah Hawkins, alive, prisoner of the Riverside Institute. Charles Hawkins and Dr. Fuller seem to have connived to hide her from the world. She seems to be very affected by the tragedies that have struck her family, but I detect a fighting spirit in this woman that I would better not underestimate. She's a survivor. Ascent. When they will have consumed the stellar flesh and survived the transformation, closer than ever to their new master, they will enter his sleep of death and will only awaken to answer his call. They will be called the Awakened. Necronomicon. The words that follow are not really mine. They were communicated to me in my dreams and trances by the greatest minds of the cosmos. I take advantage of these moments of lucidity, that grows ever shorter, to write down these few scraps from the immense knowledge that they send crashing against my broken mind, night after night. I can only leave these crumbs of knowledge to the world in the hope that reading them will guide men. but I already fear that unholy words will stain the soul of whoever dares open this accursed collection. Because, just like prisoners whose confessions were written on their own skins, I shall protect my heritage beyond the ages. Elder Sign. Men discovered a protective symbol so powerful that it could remove them from the gaze of creatures of the myth. They carved it into their jewels, painted it on the doors of their houses, and embroidered it on the clothing of their children. Later, they understood that it could even exercise its power on the doors of the sunken city. Cthulhu. In his house at Roya, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. High Priest. The call cannot be made without a guide. The guide does not have to see or to hear. He is fully committed to the cause of the great old one that he serves. He will find the oracle, he will pursue the truth seeker. He will neither reveal nor explain. He will observe. And, when the stars align and the day of awakening arrives, he will take his place and lead the call.
How are you, Bradley?
It's you, Pierce. I'm just worried about Marie. I mean, Dr. Colden. Have you had any news?
I'm so sorry, Bradley. I could do nothing to save her.
What do you mean? What happened?
I'm not sure what happened, but I found her body in the cellars of Riverside.
You sure that you've got nothing to do with it? If she hadn't tried to help you, she might still be alive.
I'm sorry. Truly.
It's that slug, Fuller. I swear I'll shoot him. What do you say, Pierce? Are you with me?
I understand your feelings, Bradley, but I don't think that you're in the right state to make such a decision.
He killed her, Pierce. I can't do nothing, faced with this situation.
Fuller's crimes won't go unpunished, I give you my word. But for now, you must keep a cool head. We must do something for those who are still alive, Bradley. Sarah is still in danger as long as the cult is active. We need to see this through, otherwise Marie's death will have been in vain.
You're, the voice of reason, Pierce. As always.
Was Sarah Hawkins telling the truth? What kind of ritual was she preparing? Was the painting of the Shambler displayed here? Mrs. Hawkins never told me why she was in possession of the Necronomicon. How did she survive her encounter with the Shambler? Knowing Mrs. Hawkins, I bet she was willing to fight. Charles Hawkins was ready to do anything to protect his wife. Damn it. The entrance to the tunnel has been buried following the cave-in. But at least I didn't dream it.
Mr. Pierce, we were waiting for you.
Good. Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
This is too dangerous for a bookworm like you.
Algernon, I need to talk to Mr. Pierce.
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so strong, so ancient, enticing, dangerous. I may never be able to escape his grip, but for now I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce, but I can't come back to Boston with you.
Why do you think you're responsible for everything that has happened?
Because I am. I am the one who read the forbidden book. I am the one who painted the creature. I must find it and kill it. I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No. No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No, you're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
You've recovered from yesterday's condition. That must mean you can fight it. We must find something that will stop you from relapsing.
Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right. I'll help you.
October 29th, 1924, Hawkins Manor. What does she really know? What have they done to her? Her husband said that she was dangerous. Sarah Hawkins, she looks crazy. Like me? Bradley knows about Colden. Sarah Hawkins had read the Necronomicon. Was she haunted by the book? She must have looked in it to find a way to get rid of the Shambler. Each time this woman gets close to the occult, a catastrophe occurs. I don't know if she really has any power, but I must shelter her from all this madness. She won't leave Darkwater. Not before having killed the Shambler. This is madness. Drake might know something. He spoke about protecting her. He's waiting for me in Charles Hawkins' office. Mental trauma, Sarah Hawkins' ritual. Is the Necronomicon endowed with its own conscience? While investigating the Hawkins mansion, Pierce came into contact with a residual image of the lost book. The work is so powerful that even the memory of it is enough for the detective to lose some sanity. Pierce is not the only person to have read it. As he suspected, Sarah Hawkins also studied it. Sanity, psychotic. There is a secret. A forgotten secret, so old and terrifying, which is only divulged in the blasphemous pages of lost tomes, or whispered during forgotten and outlawed rituals. We are not children of Providence. You know the cruel and awful truth, and you have seen the frightening face of reality.
Seeing you again. Ah, it's you. I'm here for her, not you.
I don't care why you're here. Your usefulness is the only thing that matters. How do we protect Mrs. Hawkins from the influence of the forces that claim her?
By following Charles Hawkins, that imbecile of a thief, of course.
What do you mean?
He found something. An amulet. The symbol engraved on it could protect Sarah.
Could?
We are dealing with forces that by far surpass what your intellect can process. Feel free to ask me any question regarding the matters that exceed your grasp.
The dagger with the strange sign. Was it you who sold it to Francis Sanders?
If you are referring to the dagger of the ancients, then yes, it was me. Why?
Do you know what he intended to do with it?
Francis was primarily a collector of occult objects. He liked rare items such as the dagger. But I doubt he knew its purpose.
It allowed me to send the creature you call the Shambler back into the painting.
Fascinating. But I am afraid that this might only be short-lived.
You mean that thing could come back?
Yes, that is why I am looking for a more permanent solution.
It must never come back. A genius like you must have already found a way to get rid of this creature, yes?
I sense your sarcasm, but it does happen that, yes, I do have a solution. I think I can destroy it, but for that I must approach the creature, and to be able to do so, I need the key to Rie.
Another one of your baubles.
It is no bauble, unbeliever. It is a very powerful protection, able to repel very ancient forces. Much more effective than your cult.
What does it look like?
It is a golden amulet, bearing very ancient inscriptions and an elder sign at its center. A star with an eye in the middle.
I've already seen that sign. Where can we find it?
Therein lies the problem. That foul thief Charles has hidden it somewhere. I found this drawing among his personal effects. I think that it has something to do with the location of the amulet.
I'll follow this lead. You continue searching.
That is what I intend to do. As for you, return here the second you find it. I don't want it to disappear again.
This is the amulet that Drake was looking for.
This amulet is engraved with the Elder Sign. Drake calls it the Key of Arlia. He firmly believes that this artifact is of great power. The Key of Arlia. Drake maintains that it can repel the forces of the Great Old Ones and lock the doors to the undersea city of Ride. I see an ugly, solid gold medallion, engraved with the same symbol that repulsed Charles Hawkins in the Nameless bookstore. It remains to be seen if it can really protect Sarah Hawkins.
It's you again.
I think I've found what we're looking for.
Let me see that. Yes, that's it. It's perfect. We are saved.
I must tell Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, do that.
I have it. It's a strange amulet. I hope it will protect you. Considering that nothing will help you change your mind.
You must understand, I already went too far.
What have you seen that's so terrible you convinced yourself that you had to risk so much?
I can't tell you now.
This story is going to end badly.
Yes, Chief West is here with Sullivan.
Bradley, you take care of Sarah. I will deal with them.
You sure? All right. I've been hearing about you a lot lately. You seem to enjoy causing trouble.
Nice job, Chief. You got me. Great police work.
You can try to play smart with me all you want, Pierce. Witnesses have identified you as the one who set fire to Riverside.
Witnesses? How convenient. That's not the whole story, is it?
I don't care about your stories. Save them for the judge. You know, us cops, we base our investigation on facts and testimonies. You might want to try that next time.
You bet I will.
Chapter 10, Dark Water Police Station. With the help of Algernon Drake, Pierce has obtained an amulet that is supposed to protect Sarah Hawkins against the evil powers that covet her. The painter told him of her desire to track and kill the dimensional shambler in order to atone for her sins. Before Pierce could stop her, he was arrested by the police.
You know, I've heard a lot about you, Mr. Pierce.
All good, I hope.
It appears that you've been involved in a variety of misdemeanors since your arrival on Dark Water. Entering private property, twice. Aggression, insulting behavior, and to top it all, arson.
Listen, Chief West, I realize that I'm in your jurisdiction, and that you don't like guys like me. However, I think that these accusations are exaggerated and that we would benefit from working together.
If that means a confession from you and therefore less paperwork for me, then we've got a deal.
I'm serious. Can't you see what's going on right under your nose?
Yeah? So what's going on that I don't know about?
You'd be better off taking an interest in Dr. Fuller. The experiments he carries out on his patients are as inhuman as they are illegal. And when Dr. Colden wanted to put a stop to it, she too went under the knife.
What are you talking about? Nobody's reported any wrongdoings. Dr. Fuller is a man who is as much respected and admired on the island as he is in his profession. It seems like you've got a grievance against him. Is that why you set fire to his institute?
I'm admitting nothing at all.
Come on, I'll show you to your new residence. I'll be back later to ask you some questions. I hope that you'll make the right choice and confess to everything. It would be as unpleasant for you as it would be for me if I had to adopt more advanced questioning.
I have no doubt about that.
Good night, Mr. Pierce.
Mr. Pierce, the Truth Seeker, we meet at last.
Who's there?
I am the one men named Leviathan. Not because of the scale of my terrestrial form, but as a reminder of the immensity of my knowledge, which I came to share with you, human. Do not struggle. You will not be able to speak or escape my influence. I told you to behave. You are here to accept the knowledge and follow the path that leads to your freedom. This is an offer that the likes of you, particularly those with such rare characteristics, cannot refuse. The more you bend your human spirit to make it able to receive the truth, the closer you will come to embrace his power. Where is the Oracle, Truth Seeker? Would you like to see her? Your mind must open itself willingly, or the truth will immediately shatter it. Our paths shall cross again, Truth Seeker.